This video is all about the evolution of media. So I discuss you this lesson and please listen carefully. The evolution of media from old media to new media has transformed the way we understand the world around us. New media is interactive and is user-generated, while old media is a more traditional way of communicating through television, radio, newspapers, magazines, books, etc. New media gives us a new perspective by allowing us to interact with one another through the internet. Media has become much more personal and diverse as user-generated content becomes more prominent in our lives. Traditional media still remains an integral part in our lives, allowing us to be informed, updated, and aware in our surroundings in today's generation, but we used it minimal. The only thing that changed in mass communication was a term, technology that uses internet to easily access and feel free to get connected to each other. Furthermore, these new form of communication have far-reaching implications for society, including in business and politics compared to traditional form of media. In today's generation, people are getting so curious about many things. They study, observe, and test it for them to satisfy their curiosity. That is why we do have new invented technologies. These technologies help us in our daily routines. IT was invented for us to do things simpler and easier. In my perspective, the today's media is very helpful because the news and information could spread easily. If humanity has its revolution, same goes to the media, and the news and information are very reachable. For me, the media has a improvement. Every generation our technology is changing for the better and more useful. Evolution of media. Traditional media to new media before 1700 BC. Period 220 BCE to 1700 BC. Pre-industrial age. Before 1700, people discovered fire, developed paper from plants, and forged weapons and tools with stone, bronze, copper, and iron. Example forms of media. Cave paintings 3500 BC. Clay tablets in Mesopotamia 2400 BC. Papyrus in Egypt 500 BC. Cave paintings 35,000 BC. Cave or rock paintings are paintings painted on cave or rock walls and ceilings, usually dating to prehistoric times. Clay tablets in Mesopotamia 2400 BC. Clay tablets were used as a writing medium, especially for writing in cuneiform throughout the Bronze Age and well into the Iron Age. Papyrus in Egypt 500 BC. The papyrus plant is a reed that grows in marshy areas around the Nile River. In ancient Egypt, the wild plant was used for a variety of uses, and specially cultivated papyrus, grown on plantations, was used to make the writing material. Other examples are Acta Diurna in Rome 130 BC, printing press using wood blocks 220 AD, Codex in Mayan region 5th century, Debao in China 2nd century. Acta Diurna in Rome 130 BC. Acta, Latin, things that have been done in ancient Rome, minutes of official business. Acta Senatus and a gazette of political and social events. Acta Diurna. Debao in China 2nd century. The Chinese Debao is the earliest and oldest newspaper in the world. During West Han time, codex in the Mayan region 5th century, are folding books stemming from the pre-Columbian Maya civilization, written in Maya hieroglyphic script, on Mesoamerican paper, made from the inner bark of certain trees, the main being the wild fig tree or Amati ficus glabrata. Printing press using wood blocks 220 is a technique for printing text, images, or patterns, used widely throughout East Asia and originating in China in antiquity as a method of printing on textiles and later paper. Period 1700 to 1930, Industrial Age 1700s to 1930s. People used the power of team, developed machine tools, established iron protection, and the manufacturing of various products, including books through the printing press. Example forms of media: printing press for mass production 1900, newspaper The London Gazette 1740, typewriter 1800, telephone 1876, motion picture photography projection 1890, commercial motion pictures 1913, motion picture with sound 1926, telegraph, punch cards. The printing press is a device that allows for the mass production of uniform printed matter, mainly text in the form of books, pamphlets, and newspapers. Created in China, the printing press revolutionized society there before being further developed in Europe in the 15th century. Newspaper The London Gazette 1640s is one of the official journals of record of the British government and the most important among such official journals in the United Kingdom, in which certain statutory notices are required to be published. Typewriter 1800s. A typewriter is a mechanical or electromechanical machine for writing characters similar to those produced by printers' movable type. Telephone 1876. Alexander Graham Bell, scientist, inventor, and innovator, received the first patent for an apparatus for transmitting vocal or other sounds telegraphically, a device he called the telephone. Motion picture photography projection 1890s, dating from the 1890s, is one of the oldest of modern imaging technologies that remains current today. Motion picture theory is simple and clear-cut. Motion film is composed of a series of still pictures. When the still pictures are projected progressively and rapidly onto a screen, the eye perceives motion. Hence, they become a motion picture. Commercial motion picture 1913. 1913 was a particularly fruitful year for film as an art form, and is often cited one of the years in the decade which contributed to the medium the most, along with 1917. Motion picture with sound 1926. A sound film is a motion picture with synchronized sound, or sound technologically coupled to image as opposed to a silent film. The first known public exhibition of projected sound films took place in Paris in 1900, but decades passed before sound motion pictures were made commercially practical. Reliable synchronization was difficult to achieve with the early sound on disc systems, and amplification and recording quality were also inadequate. Innovations in sound on film led to the first commercial screening of short motion pictures using the technology, which took place in 1923. Telegraph 1950's telegraphy requires that the method used for encoding the message be known to both sender and receiver. Punch cards 1950S. A punched card or punch card is a piece of stiff paper that can be used to contain digital information represented by the presence or absence of holes in predefined positions. The information might be data for data processing applications. Period. 1930 to 1980, Electronic Age 1930S to 1980S. The invention of the transistor ushered in the electronic age. People harnessed the power of transistors that led to the transistor radio, electronic circuits, and the early computers. In this age, long-distance communication became more efficient. Example forms of media: transistor radio, television 1941. Large electronic computers, main computers that is IBM 700-419-600, LCD projectors. Transistor radio 1954 is a small portable radio receiver that uses transistor-based circuitry. Television 1941, television programs in 1941. When commercial TV began in July 1941, New York City had 3 stations on the air. Although NBC had the only commercial license, CBS offered the most programs on a weekly basis. Large electronic computers EDSAC 1949, short for Electronic Delay Storage Automatic Calculator. EDSAC is an early British computer considered to be the second stored program electronic computer after the SIM. It was created at the University of Cambridge in England. Performed its first calculation on May 6, 1949. Main computers IBM 7041954. The first mass-produced computer was core memory and floating point arithmetic, whose designers included John Backus, formerly of IBM Watson Laboratory, at Columbia University. OPE. LCD projectors 1950S. An LCD projector is a type of projector based on liquid crystal displays which can display images, data or video. An LCD projector works on transmissive technology. LCD projectors are more popular than many alternatives due to the fact that they are cheaper to produce and have excellent color reproduction. They are commonly used in business meetings, presentations, and seminars. Period. 1900 to 2000. New or Information Age 1900S to 2000S. The Internet paved the way for faster communication and the creation of the social network. People advanced the use of microelectronics with the invention of personal computers, mobile devices, and wearable technology. Moreover, voice, image, and sound data are digitalized. We are now living in the information age. Example forms of media: web browsers, Mosaic 1993, Internet Explorer 1995, blogs, Blogspot 1999, WordPress 2003, social networks, Friendster 2002, Multiply 2003, Reality Virtual Reality, Video Chat, Skype 2003, Search engines, Google 1996, F2004, Instagram, microblogs, Twitter 2006, Tumblr 2007, video, YouTube 2005, augmented Yahoo 1995, portable computers, laptops 1980, netbooks 2008, tablets 1993, smartphones, wearable technology, cloud and big data.